Hello, and welcome to AOS Aspirant. Today I will be talking about the Age of Sigmar town sequence and the tactical implications surrounding town order and how this might differ from different games like Warhammer 40k. So let's start by looking at the 40k town sequence. In Warhammer 40k it is really rather simple. It's basically each player just alternates taking their town, so it's very much a you go, I go situation. So the first player goes, moves, shoots, charges, attacks, does everything they need to do, and then it passes on to the next player. In Age of Sigmar, it's a bit different. So instead of a straightforward you go, I go situation, instead, after every sort of turn sequence, so once I have my turn, you have your turn. Now, instead of it automatically going back to being my turn, instead we have a roll-off to decide who will go next. Now, this difference in turn order that AOS has to other games like 40k is it effectively allows the possibility for a player to have a double turn. So instead of me being able to move, do all of my stuff, and then it automatically passes over, if I was the last person in the previous round to go, so say if it's my turn first, then it's my friend's Bob's turn, Bob has a possibility to finish his move, finish his attacks, and then immediately have another turn before I have an opportunity to respond. Now, it almost goes without saying that having a double turn can give you a huge short-term advantage because you get to move and do everything you want in your turn without the opponent having any real way to respond. So as we can sort of see, you have all of these different phases that you'll be able to run through. You get to have your hero phase, your movement phase, your charge phase, your attack phase, and so on and so forth, without the opponent player being able to prepare for it. So if you have this opportunity to have this double turn, it can really quite swing the game. Now, because of this opportunity of your opponent having a very powerful double turn, or even yourself having a very powerful double turn, you kind of need to complete your turn with this in mind. This might cause you to play a bit more cagey, a bit more defensively, just making sure that you don't give your opponent too much opportunity to take advantage if they did get a double turn. Alternatively, it could be a really good situation for you, say if you're a bit behind in the game. Take that gamble, be like, this is sort of all or nothing. I'm going to play as though I'm going to have a double turn, meaning that you move all of your models up, maybe not to make the charge this turn, but to have a very good opportunity of making it next turn. Now, of course, this plan could backfire, and you've really overexposed yourself. I think this is something that when you play the game of Age of Sigmar is very, very different to 40k, and I think when transitioning between these games, you really have to keep this in mind, that this double turn can really swing the game just by the fact that your opponent or yourself doesn't have the opportunity to respond. So overall, I think that this is a really fun and interesting game mechanic. I think that the fact that you have this extra randomness really makes you plan for the future more, and you have to plan for every situation. And I think this makes the tactical challenges you make in the game much more meaningful. You need to really be thinking, is this good in both situations? However, I think that there is an argument to be said, because it's determined randomly, it kind of reduces the competitiveness of the game a little bit. But I think if you're quite a skilled general, you can sort of plan for both situations, and you know when and where it might be worth taking the gamble, and when and where it might be worth carefully screening your units, carefully holding them back to make sure that you can attack at just the right time, regardless of the situation. So those are my thoughts on the AOS town order. Thank you for watching, and if you feel interested in seeing my journey progress into Age of Sigmar, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.